All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to Red Lock. Here for another winners bracket quarterfinals matchup with Rumyndra versus Marwin. Rumi versus Marwin. It's gonna be a good match, I think. I'm Dio. I'm here once again. Rumi, the overall #1 qualifying player, with a really solid run through the qualifiers pool. #1 overall on the nomads and on that nomad 4. #1 overall on the hard rocks as well, with a 900k plus average on that hard rock pool. Looking very, very solid there. Even though not traditionally thought of as a very solid DT player, #2 overall on the DT pool. And still a pretty solid run on those hiddens. Marwin, meanwhile, usually a DT specialist, usually a speed and stream specialist, has been improving the hidden, but not quite as strong on that as Rumi. Same goes for the nomads and the hard rocks as we head into a warm-up here early on. I think at this point, this pool has scaled enough that Marwin should start to be able to abuse the speed versus somebody like Rumi. And if you're more invested in the losers bracket elimination matches this week, we do also have Azer versus Flat Paper going on over on Suikoon's stream. Thank you to Suikoon and Lily for doing that one. What I'm hoping is that we are going to see kind of diverse picks from Rumi and a lot of abusing the specialty for Marwin, because that is the kind of skill cap set that he has in this matchup. For Rumi, it's definitely the aim in comparison, but even something like DT aim, I think, is still going to be pretty good for Marwin on this pool. What are we playing, man? Like, I kind of ignore warm-ups most of the time, but what are we playing? Y'all, we have literally 10k. 20k combined score. What is going... I mean, I guess you're going to be warmed up. I don't know. Anyway. And that'll do it for, I think, first warm-up. I don't know if we're getting a second warm-up. Yes, we are. All right. Oh boy. Not another 8-star alt map. This is 4 minutes 11. Okay, well, I guess we're doing it anyway. Yeah, this is pretty much the same map that we just saw, except a star rating easier. I don't have a ton to say during the warm-ups. I'm just waiting for the rules and bans to get started, and then for us to get into the first couple of maps. I think this match will start to get really interesting once we're out of basic aim and speed picks in this pool. At that point, I think these two start to become a lot more evenly matched in terms of how good they are on a lot of stuff. Until that point, I think early couple of picks are going to be a little bit less interesting. There's definitely some room for things to go awry, especially on picks like DT4. I think like Rumy is probably banning DT2, DT3, or subbing a Nomad 5 there, and the last one is just left up. I think the first picks for Marwin are probably just Nomad 5, DT1, and then maybe a DT4 later on, but Rumy should be decent on that. I don't think it's going to be like a one-sided affair there. And then same deal for Marwin. In this pool, I think he probably wants to ban out the Nomad 1 hidden one, potentially, against Rumy. I know not theoretically, you know, not traditionally a hidden player. Maybe Hard Rock 2. Trying to think of kind of the most aim-focused maps in the pool. Nomad 1's an obvious choice. Shit, off the warm-ups. Maybe you ban the Nomad 3, but have to see what the picks are. This is Marwin's warm-up, so Rumy sight reading and beating his score out by a decent margin, honestly. Solid stuff. Solid score. Marwin may be happy with that reroll and loses anyway. Okay. So Marwin getting first pick and probably also taking first ban if I had to guess. ABBA order, so first ban generally better. Nope, one second ban. Okay. Sometimes that makes sense, I think. I think ban order matters a lot less in this match because Rumy's bans are pretty set in stone. Right, it's only 2 of the DT2, DT3, and Nomad 5 for Rumy in this matchup, so I feel like it doesn't matter quite as much. And yeah, there's DT3. Didn't show up in the laser client, did show up in my normal tournament client. I do see the hidden 3 ban there. And it's just going to be Nomad 4, hidden 2 for Marwin. Instead of aim, going for some text and reading. Nomad 6, despite being less straightforward, is also not a hidden map. And actually DT4 ban for Rumy. That leaves up both the Nomad 5 and the DT2. DT2 has been somewhat accessible to people. But definitely I was expecting one of those two to get banned. The Hard Rock 1 first pick for Marwin. think is a little interesting. Again, you're usually looking to abuse speed as Marwin in this matchup. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe he's on the hard rock train recently. I know he's been branching out a lot. No longer nearly as much of a specialist as he used to be on a lot of these. But definitely still a little surprised to see him first pick something like this, as opposed to keeping up the speed, especially against somebody like Rumi, who, you know, obviously not a one-trick, right? You place first in quals, you can't be a one-trick. You have to be decent at everything, or rather good at everything in a tournament like this. But still definitely the speed is one of his weakest points. Both players holding the FC at the start here. Much better act from Marwin though. And now the map has started. We're into some of the more difficult aim sections, some of those high velocity sliders, and Rumi breaks on that first high velocity reverse slider. Marwin breaks on a slider jump right at the end of the first KI time though, so it does get traded. Still the accuracy advantage, keeping the score in his favor for now. Still the combo lead for Rumi off the timing of the misses, but as I say that, finds a miss aim in that bottom left slider jump. Marwin will trade it pretty much immediately. And again with the timing of the misses, a slight combo lead for Rumi, but much less impactful this time around. More impactful is the accuracy lead going down for Marwin, now to only 8%, where before it was about 2.5% there. Rumi misses on that slider stream at the top of the screen, and now Marwin with a big lead going into the last sixth or so of the map. This last little hard section, one last KI time. And unless he massively fumbles, he's got this one in the bag. And there's another slider break from Rumi. That is going to be win for Marwin. Definitely a first pick I was not expecting, but one that works out nonetheless. Very well played to Marwin on this first pick. Does find a drop there near the end, but still going to win by over 100K at that, so solid run. And Hard Rock 2 first pick for Rumi, which I think is one of those that you could see coming. Rumi, definitely an aim player, likes the Hard Rock aim, and this is the actual Hard Rock aim map in this pool. CS 7.93, I believe. This is the Scooby set. It's a bunch of repeating pattern aim in this map. Repeating, expanding pattern aim.
You are somebody that I don't know, but you're taking shots at me like it's Patron, and I'm just like, damn. It's 7 a.m. Say it in the street, that's a knockout. But you say it in a tweet,
and both of them miss aim at pretty much the exact same time. In some cases, it's not the actual patterns that are hard. The gaps between patterns, not knowing where that next node is going to appear, and dealing with that super high spacing on this really high circle size. Seems like that's what broke both of their combos a little earlier. Now we move into that first KI time. First set of expanding squares, good for both players. Accuracy advantage giving the win to Rumi right now, but does find a slider break there. I'm not sure on what exactly. Couple misses, actually. And now Marwin with combo lead. Not by too much, only about 130 combo lead. But the accuracy lead pretty much gone as well. And Marwin now ahead by 20K at the first break.
You are somebody that we don't know, but you're coming at my friends like a missile. Are you mad when you could be glad? Sunshine on the street at the parade, but you would rather be in the dark age, just making that sign. Must have taken all night.
And no further misses so far. We're into another one of these really long jump chains. And these are definitely missable, but they're not some of the hardest patterns in the map. Now into some really tricky diamond patterns, and Marwin hits it. Rumi finds another miss. This is suddenly really good for Marwin. These half circle patterns now as well. Marwin does find the miss on one of those, but so does Rumi. Combos completely reset. The accuracy is 2% in Rumi's favor. And he does have a 45 combo lead right now. Never mind. My bad. It's a 120K lead for Marwin, though. I mean, I don't think this has the time to go back, even with this kind of an ACK lead. There's just not really any time. This should be 2-0. Early first pick breakpoint for Marwin on the Hard Rock 2 pick for Rumi. Not like Marwin is bad at Hard Rock, but this is something that you would really expect Rumi to do very well on. So Marwin being able to take the breakpoint here is really, really nice. $500K, not too shabby indeed. I don't know if how much this has been played so far this week. This was played once between Zex and Raikai, and yeah, those two scores are pretty good in the context of those other two scores that we've had so far. So very well played to both of them, but yeah, Marwin just pulling up with some pretty good scores there. And now Nomad 2. No speed. Just into the flow aim here. Biggest difficulty for these two players on this map is definitely going to be the especially decelerating streams. Starting off with extremely high spacing and then moving very quickly into much lower spacing on a lot of these streams at 202 BPM. Definitely a lot of streams that kind of have a big acceleration and then decel in the middle as well, especially on corners, which can be really tough for some people. Some of those streams are Thanos, so definitely expecting All right, nobody breaking on the 1/3 at the start as well. Step has pretty tame 1/3 for this song overall. A couple of cut stream 1/3 later on in the map, but nothing all that bad. Still no misses for anyone. A third of the way into the map. That big deceleration into the triple at the end of that stream has caught a few people off, but neither of these players, and it's actually Rumi up in ACK compared to Marwin, on that first slider. First set of big jumps comes through. Neither player misses. Some more 1/3s. These aren't too bad. Again, not super high spacing on these, but you have to not choke when they come up. A couple of act drops here and there, but nothing too shabby for either of these players. And now into the second half of the map, double FC still going for these two. This is where the combo really picks up, though. There's far more combo in the second half of this map than in the first half. Still no breaks. Finally, somebody finds one, but it's Marwin dropping the miss on the flow aim. Looked like just an over aim there on the decelerating Quint. And now Rumi on the FC, uncontested, 2/3 of the way into the map, with some free combo coming up, rewarded for hitting everything so far, with now a bunch of free combo in this section, going into some 1/3 streams afterwards as well, which, again, in this part of the song, not too bad at all. Yeah, I think this amount of free combo, it's already over. The fact that Rumi has FC'd all of that first half now just gets so much free score. And Marwin, I mean, it's a solid score still, but this is not going to be an FC, so not going to be able to contest Rumi on this map at all. And that's going to be a breakpoint right back for Rumi, and I have to step away for a moment, so you can enjoy, hopefully, an FC on the rest of this one. Well, that's unfortunate. On to Hidden 1 for Rumi. And that's pretty sad for Marwin as well. One miss right in the middle of the map. Unlucky. Now into the Hidden 1. Some AR 9.3, 220 BPM anti-aim focused mapping, originally from Course Ace Open 2021 quarterfinals. This map is very, very density focused, and if you can hit the aim patterns and just contend with that density, you'll do really well. But if you struggle with either of the anti-aim patterning or the density, it really will show on this map, because it's a map that targets them in such isolation. Rumi actually the first to miss. Marwin will find the break right afterwards, and the accuracy is much better for Rumi. Is starting to even out a little bit, but another couple of misses from Marwin will give some of that AC lead back over to Rumi. Marwin could drop once more. Just under halfway into the map. Neither player able to put together a huge combo on this. But both still holding strong, still doing similarly to each other. Only a 50k score lead for Rumi, 2/3 of the way in, with a 2% AC lead, is really going to show how close it is between the two of them. But now Marwin finds a drop that Rumi does not answer. And I think this is just some free score for Rumi now. I think he's going to be able to take advantage, no problem, of that miss from Marwin. And yeah, another miss to come through. 300 combo advantage, 100k score lead for Rumi. And that should be his ticket to 2 points on the board. Rumi will drop another miss there at the end of the map, but still breaking 600k on that. Not too shabby on that hidden one. Solid score. And now moving on to the next pick for Marwin. We've seen no speed yet. 2 hard rocks. Curious when we're going to see something along the lines of that Nomad 5, DT2, maybe a DT1 from Marwin, if we're going to see them at all. I suppose there is a world where he just doesn't pick those, but I'd be a little surprised. Oh, Hard Rock 4, okay. Yo, I'm happy with this pick. Intersect Thunderbolt Remix by SSH. The Exceed difficulty by Snow Notes. Marvin says warm up. I think his next pick might be DT1. Not sure. Something might give it away though. Into, in my opinion, the coolest song in the pool, at the very least. Opinions on the map may vary depending on how old your account is, but one of the coolest songs in the pool. A lot of 250 BPM, both snap and flow aim in this map. A couple of bursts here and there, but it's really not a speed map. This one often is going to come down to the aim consistency on some of the old map jank aim patterns, like those, plus the 188 BPM flow aim space streams in the second half of this map. The 1/3 streams in this actually got hands, so you will need to be on point with the hard rock flow aim for those a little later on in the map. Nomad 2 in disguise. Both players still holding on to the FCs right now. Nobody missing on that burst. First long burst there, and actually Rumi SSing it. Marwin dropping 100 there at the end. Both players immediately missing on the first 1/3 stream. This is the hardest section of the map. Let's see who handles it a little bit better. Massive act drop for Rumi. A miss at the end of that section as well, and Marwin now ahead in score. The accuracy completely evened out. Both of them dropping down to 96.5. Another couple of 1/3 streams here at the end, and another break for Rumi, and Marwin is just clutching up at the end. No, he's not! Never mind, my bad, bro! He just instantly chain misses, and suddenly 30k for Rumi out of nowhere. And Rumi just has to chain miss now. There's no other way Marwin wins this. If Rumi finds a massive chain miss at the end of the map, I think it's possible, but I don't think there's another stream pattern. That's it, it's over. Chain miss for Marwin decides it, and Rumi takes it. That's unfortunate, bro. Yeah, no, I get it. I get it, Marwin. Nerves on Floim in match really do that to you. Like, Floim maps with nerves is, I've never chain missed more in my life than on Nomad 2 in tournament. Bro crossed the beams. He was not meant to. Did you solve Nomad 3? He asks like he's not about to pick it anyway. Yeah, I was gonna say. I think we're just picking that anyway. All right, into the Nomad 3. Rumi up a breakpoint right now, looking to consolidate, go up 4-2. Marwin hoping to take back a breakpoint, hoping that he's solved the Nomad 3 this week. This one too fast to single tap. You have to ult, or at least most players have to ult. I'm looking at the act. I'm not thinking this one's solved at the start. No disrespect, this one looking unsolved. Well, I mean, there is a break from Rumi, but I don't know how much it matters. This is some one-sided Nomad 3 action right now. The hit sounding in this is wild, though. I don't even think that's part of the song. I think that's just hit sounding from Artisan. Marwin, to his credit, has put together a pretty solid combo during this section. Still cannot solve the act issue on this map. And does finally drop that combo during this PI time. Understandable. Looking to be a pretty good score from Rumi, though. focusing on Marwin, let's take a look at the scores we've seen so far this weekend on this map. It's been a couple of 500Ks from Wandirio and Raikai, 770K from Zex. Okay, bro. I didn't know he had that in him. Rumi gonna drop, I think, the second best score. Yeah, second best score of the weekend so far on this map. I did not know Zex had that dog in him on a map like this, though. 770K, 1500 combo. That's a good score. Actually, put some respect on. And respect to Rumyndra also for that score. Second best of the weekend so far. Only other player to get above 1,000 combo aside from Zex. So really, really good score there for Rumi. Marwin, he did not solve it. That's okay, bro. Get him next time. Get him next week. And now 4-2 in favor of Rumi. Marwin looking for something different. I think it's time to bust out some of the speed. I know this is not, it's not like he's a one-trick specialist or anything, but I still feel like it's probably his best bet versus Rumi. Maybe I'm wrong? No, it's time to bust out the speed. No Mod 5, Xenobeat by Gorshit coming out. Like, I don't really need to talk about this map too much. Y'all already know what this map is. It's Xenobeat. 230 burst spam. 237 burst spam. A lot of flowing, a lot of jumping in between. So far this weekend, the best scores on this have also tended to be much higher accuracy. The only case where a better score was not also better act is non-cycle out-comboing Rukio. But of course didn't face off against Rukio during their match anyway. Average score for this map looking a little funny at the moment. Right now it's average score 300K on this Nomad 5. Let's hope this one boosts it up a little bit. The beginning of the map, though, is not going as one might expect. Rumi 99.5 accuracy, Marwin 96.5. And actually Marwin finding an early break about 330 combo into the map, so combo lead for Rumyndra at the moment. Why does it look like Marwin needs to combo game while Rumi's more comfortable on the speed? What's going on? And there's actually the miss from Marwin, and now this is just, what is Rumi doing, man? We're 3/4 of the way in. He's still FCing 99.5 accuracy. This is not normally. He's just demolishing it. Like, we're into the easy part now as well. And another miss aim from Marwin, and that's already over. Rumi's just doing it for style points right now. Does finally drop the axe down to 99 flat, but this is still already by far best score of the weekend, and probably going to be the best score we see all weekend on that. The 99% FC from Rumi, and that's match point. That's 5-2 right there. And he says crazy high roll. I do believe it's a high roll, but like 99 FC? Come on, bro. To Marwin's credit, aside from Rumi, not counting Rumi, the only player with a better score than Marwin is Zex on that map. That is actually the third best score of the weekend from Marwin on that Nomad 5. Everybody else is 370k or below. All right, and into Nomad 1, which honestly probably a pretty good pick for Rumi anyway. So, not too bad, not too shabby. Alright, let's see how the Nomad 1 goes here for both these players. Match point for Rumyndra. Marwin needing a win on this one to stay in the winner's bracket. Just one more map to keep this match going and to get access to his own last pick. Quick update, both matches at the same time are at match point. Flat Paper 5-4, sorry, Azer 5-4 against Flat Paper right now. Going into Nomad 3 as Azer's last pick. And that's a very early miss for Marwin, unfortunately. Oh, he stopped playing? Oh no. I don't know what happened there. He did not ask for an abort. I think that's probably just like a small mouse issue or a readjustment, but that's really going to hurt the score. And there is a miss for Rumi, so there is combo lead for Marwin now, but never mind. No more combo lead. At this point, we're just kind of waiting on this map to close out. This kind of an accuracy lead is so hard to come back from on a simple map like this. You're just expecting very good act from both players, even though it's high OD at OD 9.5. And there's another side break from Marwin. I think that's probably just GG. Big combo lead for Rumi, now 100k score lead as well. And honestly, it was well played from Marwin. You still have some pretty solid scores. Despite losing the Nomad 5 by a wide margin, that was still, again, the third best Nomad 5 score of the weekend. You still had, I think, a pretty solid Hard Rock 4 score also from Marwin, despite losing that one. Yeah. Indeed, it was. 598k is the fourth best score of the weekend, including Rumi's. Like, there's just a lot of places where Marwin is doing well, Rumi's just better. And that's often how these winners bracket matches go, right? You can play really well, but if you're not that guy, you might just still lose anyway in the winners bracket. That is also unfortunately going to be it for the other match going on at the same time here. Looking like the Nomad 3 pick worked out for Azer just as well as it worked out for Rumi in this match. So, Flat Paper going to be eliminated from the tournament in that loser's bracket match, and Marwin knocked down into the loser's bracket by Rumyndra. Rumi not going to top score this Nomad 1. We did already see an FC from Wandirio this weekend. But 570k, 99 AC, going to be enough to win the match and knock Marwin down 6-2 into the loser's bracket. Once again, congratulations to Rumyndra for that win in the winner's bracket quarterfinals, and good luck to Marwin in the loser's bracket. Don't quite have an opponent ready for Rumi just yet. We're waiting on the Pink Eye Fan Nujabes matchup for his opponent. Same goes for the other side of the winner's bracket semifinals. Still need an opponent for Wandirio. Winner of Birchman versus Vesperit moves on to face him. As for the loser's bracket match that we just saw here, going to be a 6-4 win for Azer, which means Marwin versus Azer is the loser's bracket matchup waiting for Marwin after this loss. Good luck there.